I think it's a great intro. We saw each other on a weekend excursion, and she and I started talking. My daughter was with me, and she goes, "Mom, she's great at Fight Club." Yeah, and she just put it all out there. And Tanya was super excited, and I had discussed with the gentleman before everybody, had started arriving, martial artists and combat sports and those disciplines, we tend to be on the quiet side when it comes to our skill set, what we've learned, how we teach. We're selective in who we share that information with, not to keep it from people, but it's a personal journey when you do any type of these, movement, science, martial arts, and everything that goes behind it. And so when you also, it's not something that you broadcast to the world. Now, in this world of social media, a lot of people broadcast to the world. I was lucky enough to dream up Ladies Fight Club a few years ago, and a friend opened a studio which gave me the platform to do this. Tanya reminded me that women need to hear about this in order to enjoy it, to learn from it, and to share it with other women, because it is so important. So that's how this came about today. And so I thank Tanya for coming and playing just a little bit.
Yeah, thank you.
And I hope it was fun. A little bit about me. Well, first rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club, which I just kind of covered. A little pop media reference there. But today we're going to talk about it, and as Tanya shared, it needs to be talked about when you share it with other people. It's important. I've moved here in 1992. I'm a certified personal trainer through NASM, and I made myself notes. I'll give you notes if you need shorthand notes later. I was lucky enough to study with someone named Richard Pearson, who some of you may remember.
Former sensei.
Oh, wow.
We were in class together. When he walked in, I was like,
I know that face.
oh my goodness. So, as he can attest, Richard was a phenomenal instructor, and he also insisted that if you were a student, you had to teach, which he made you do as well.
Yep.
Did he not?
Yep.
Did he not? And he was my inspiration to become a trainer, and to continue to teach movement and all of those things throughout the years. So that's really funny that he's here. I just clicked. Richard was fantastic, and I still find fun little connections almost every week to someone like that from those classes. Your laugh is cracking me up because I remember it so much. About me, I am an avid paddleboarder, fisherman, swimmer, former runner, triathlete, weightlifter, all the movement things. I love all the movement things. It is what makes us move, it gives us joy. You share it with your family, share it with your friends, and share it with the people. That led into becoming a personal trainer. It is not my full-time profession, but it is, I think, my avocation, which I thoroughly enjoy. I am wife to Colin, mom to Stella, who you've never seen. She does also kickbox. She's only 10, but it's available to everybody. It's something that is anybody of any age and any ability, this can translate to. So it is, Fight Club is located at, as Tanya shared, at a place called VI Movement Lab in St. Thomas Physical Therapy. It's located in the Antilles MCM complex on the lower level. We may remember it as the CrossFit gym from all those years ago. The big green AstroTurf is the great landmark. There's some wonderful logo signs up there now. So located there, Melanie Moskowitz and Jessica Schnell. Jessica Schnell's a physical therapist. She has a St. Thomas Physical Therapy. Melanie has VI Movement Lab, which is a movement studio. There's children's classes, there's yoga, there's Pilates, there's jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, all the things. TRX classes, personal training, all the things. And it's growing, and it's constantly ever evolving. So they opened the space, renovated, opened it, and I was able to finally find a home for Fight Club that I wanted to do all those years ago. Because the classes and the Richard studio was 20 people deep.
Yeah.
And, and that community was so important, and I enjoyed it so much.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Hello. Hello, Mike.
Any thoughts?
Yeah. I believe.
Is this better for you?
Marilyn?
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful. Hello, Marilyn. Thank you so much for the comment, and I appreciate the input. So I was talking about Fight Club, where it's located. You can, on the sheets of paper I have for you, is just a contact information, QR codes that you can scan to get in more information about the spaces, whether you're booking a physical therapy appointment. I can vouch for Jessica Schnell being a fantastic physical therapist, as I sometimes break myself, and she helps put me back together. And then if there's a mommy and me class that you'd like, a Pilates class, things like that, that's all available at the studio. Circling back to Ladies Fight Club, the idea being that it is a female only class, and it can be for any age. My 10-year-old daughter participates regularly, as well as her best friend, to anyone. And it is designed to be a space where you can explore movement that you maybe wouldn't have been able to find in a traditional karate studio or something like that, because it can be an intimidating space. It's a female space, and I teach a basic American kickboxing style, which with a few influences from the Gojiro that Richard enjoyed, because he's always in the back of my mind. That is I teach form and function and skills. So we're not going to do push-ups. You do that stuff, I swear. We're not going to do million squats. I'm not going to have you throw weights around. I'm going to teach how to plant your feet, how to breathe, and how to move your body in a safe way through all the planes of motion to gain power and speed and confidence. And I was very, very fortunate to learn from someone like Richard through skills. He was a stickler for it. All the other fancy things that you see through Taekwondo and you see on TikTok videos and all those things, there's all a basic form. Starts with your feet, moves up the body, breathing, intentional breathing in through 4, out through 4, those type of things. So it's really just about form and skills. That's what we really focus on. And the benefits that I've found that others through your karate skills and you learn Taekwondo is the physical benefits. So you've got agility, you've got balance, you've got endurance, cardiovascular improvements. For women specifically, bone density is something that women are working with, and there's been a lot of research lately. So any type of those combat sports, increasing bone density so that we can keep climbing up those stairs and keep picking up our kids and our grandkids and all those things. So that stuff's really important. The hand-eye coordination. Uh-oh, I dropped the ball. No. We're back again. I think there was a little glitch there, as is with all Zoom calls. I think that they're all a little suspect. The class structure, and this is often what I get asked first, what are we going to do? I always start out with something called Roll Your Own, and the benefits that I've learned since being a certified personal trainer. Research and studies have found myofascial release in all of those disciplines, which is where you take a foam roller, lay it on your back, and you roll across it. It can also be a bolster pillow. It can be rolling atop of a golf ball, tennis ball, any of those things. Those massage modalities help to improve circulation and improper movement patterns, which can then impinge on whether you're doing an exercise movement or just getting up from the chair, picking up the trash can, all those things. When you turn around and you go pick the thing up and your back goes, so the practice of myofascial release, something we didn't used to do, which we've learned now. Start with that. Work on mobility. Can you move? Are your joints free? Do you feel good? Are you capable? How does that feel? Typically, within the first 10 minutes, we're able to get everybody moving and breathing better already. So the intentional breathing practices, which is super important for any of the martial arts, and the mobility and the self-myofascial release kind of start the classes out. And then we move right into partnering up with whoever is, I've got a lot of tall girls, I've got a lot of short girls, we don't go to the same person every time. We switch it up. So we've got pads. So we stand here. They're going to hit the pads. They're going to kick the shields. We're going to work on the picture the Muhammad Ali videos where he's shadow boxing and things like that. It can seem to be a very intimidating and almost silly to do in a space. I make you do it in this space, and it becomes really a practice of joy, because you just end up laughing at each other, encouraging each other, and challenging yourself, and which is, I think, it's something that we all need. It's very important to me, and one of my students, I asked on Monday night, what do you think I should include in something like this if I were to talk about that? First thing that they wanted me to say is that it is absolutely not a typo class. Absolutely, totally not a typo class. Nothing to take away from Billy Blanks. He was extremely successful. He's a very talented martial artist. That is not what we do. We have a space where women can come in, learn how to punch and kick safely, effectively, and work through anything that you might have brought into class, any lingering emotions that you might be having, any situational rage that might have presented itself to you that day. We'll help you work through that. And also use and the other women just organically will support you and to give you feedback and give you a place to process that, which is invaluable. I leave the class every day, no matter how tired I am, no matter how long my day was. Once we get started, I am always for the better by the end of class, every single time. We have absolutely, I want to encourage that it is safe and inclusive for everybody, in the sense that if you have a movement issue, come try it anyway. If it's a little scary, just give it a try. First classes are free. I'll work with you on what you think is best. I always structure my classes so that I have someone that I can, if I need to focus on a newer student, then I've got my older students going back to the Richard model. My other students are going to step in and teach on the next side. So we make sure that you have a place that you learn properly from the beginning how to move, how to stand your feet, improve your balance. You will leave improved in one way or the other, whether it's through the dreaded wheel. The dreaded I have this saved as a PDF,
Okay.
and I'm happy to send it to you so I can share it with folks
They
later.
controlling when the update happens, I don't.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Government issue.
Got it.
All right, so a couple of questions that I always get asked is, what do you need to bring? You don't need to bring anything. We practice on tatami mats, barefoot. You can wear socks. Your feet don't move quite as good as they should. The classes are small. The studio is large enough to accommodate up to 10. We average about 6 students per class, so that you really don't get overwhelmed with a whole studio full of people. It is very small, it's intimate. The schedule is, I have it listed here on the front of the flyer. I don't change it very often, but should there be a holiday or the such, that's the place that you would check. The class structure changes. Tanya, the day that you were there, we spent a ton more time film rolling and doing more kind of mobility and getting into some things. It got you got you moving with a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that your body could move through could do the movement safely without kind of going too far, thinking that I just get you just excited enough. Get you excited, and you're like, okay, I gotta go back because I want to kick that pad again because I know that I can do that better.
Yes.
I really encourage you to share with the young women in your life, as we were talking about before, and I'll kind of wrap up with this. Self-defense skills are something that you hope and pray that you never have to use. And this is not a gun disarming course. This is not, I'm not going to take a knife away from you. Cedric hasn't taught me how to throw people over my shoulder yet. I'm working on that. But I really want women and girls, I have a 10-year-old daughter, so this is, super important to me once you become a parent, to have the self-confidence to stand up for herself, should there ever be a situation that she feels she is in danger or somebody else is. You're not going to put your skills out there. You're not going to broadcast it. You're not going to say, oh, look at me, I have these things, I can do these things. But you can quietly, if you're put in that situation, you know that the training that you've done, whether it's for a week, a month, or 15 years, that your body has a set of tools that it can use to defend itself. First and foremost is the grit that you learn from practicing a martial art, practicing a skill endlessly. You practice thousands of kicks, thousands of punches. It becomes a muscle memory, and you learn it very quickly. It takes very little time, and your body just soaks up the knowledge and is super excited about it. So that is really how the Fight Club became more poignant to me upon having my daughters. I wanted her to have physical self-confidence, to know that in any situation, if she feels at risk, she's gonna plant her feet, do a little mini squat, tuck her chin, and hold it, and she's ready for anything. Nobody's gonna push her over, and nobody's gonna take advantage of her. That's what's important to me, and I want that to be for everybody, whether it's granddaughters, grandmothers, daughters, kids, anybody. That is why I went back to teaching. I took a hiatus for a number of years, but I could not do it anymore. You know, I kept teaching classes on the beaches to 1 or 2 people, or I'd show this person this, or I'd show this person that. But once you learn from somebody like Richard, it becomes ingrained in you to share the skills, the power, the grit, and the resilience that you learn through these kind of martial arts, and that's so important. And I hope I get more people to join us. Does anybody have any questions?
Are you saying your daughter who's 10 years old can take out a old man?
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I think that it would be, and I encourage in my class for different ages and different sizes. As I mentioned, I have a couple of really tall girls. My best friend is 5 foot tall. I regularly pair up the 6'2" girl with a 5 foot woman, because those height disparities are real in everyday life. And can my 10-year-old daughter? Yes. Has she maybe taken a boy out at school once? Yes. Perhaps, but she has my full blessing, provided it was appropriate and she felt that she was at risk.
I agree.
And that's the backside of the martial arts world, is that you keep your skill set, and it is to teach you the self-control and the discipline. You're never going to punch first. If anything, you're going to punch absolutely last. That is your last defense. But you will do everything in your, when you do punch, it's going to count.
Yeah. Do you have competition where the community can come and see your?
I don't yet. We have that wonderful green patio that I referred to. That's a great landmark. I just ordered 2 push sleds because we want to start having an outdoor component, because even at the studio itself, we would like to have more of a outdoor visual presence. I'm also currently enrolled in a boxing course for an internationally certified boxing company, and as one of the classes was based on marketing plans, and a big part of it was an outdoor demonstration. I'd consider it. I think that it would be a lot of fun. I would have to pull my members. Some of them are private and don't want to share, and some of them are like super excited and wanted to. But that's true of any community. I think that a competition, not necessarily a competition, but a demonstration to get people excited, I'm all in. Absolutely. Competition fighting, as you mentioned, is a whole other ballgame that I told Richard no. I said, nope, I don't want to compete. I want to teach other people. That's what matters more. Oh, your computer came back to life. Any other questions?
Is there space when you guys there?
We do have a jiu-jitsu class. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then they also have kids Jiu-Jitsu classes as well. I don't have a men's kickboxing class right now, but I do have an open bag on Saturday mornings at 7 o'clock that anybody is welcome to join. So we're just installed 3 heavy bags on these trolleys. so that we can convert the space, which is also used as a gymnastics studio, Pilates studio. The bags roll out, so we've got 3 awesome heavy bags, so that, yeah, you're absolutely welcome. My number's on there.
So even if we can't be in class, can I just come to see
Absolutely.
what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, the open bag on Saturday is open to everybody. You know, I advertise it as part of Ladies Fight Club, but it's, you know, the nature of an open gym is anybody can come and work out and use those facilities at that point in time. I actually sweet talked Cedric to come into one class. He had a blast. The ladies loved him. Cedric is a former student of ours as well, instructor, and he's promised to teach me some Aikido. So as a trade-off, so we have had some guest, you know, some guest attendees, which I think that I would absolutely be welcome as well. And there is space for growth as far as if we need another karate studio. You were referencing back in the 70s, you were, you know, taking classes. And I moved here in the 90s, and there was a very large martial arts community at that point in time. There were multiple studios, multiple disciplines. Ivan was teaching wrestling. And all those things. So we're at a cycle now where there's not a lot of martial artists. So I would love to see it grow and have more. And I think Melanie would absolutely be agreeable to finding a time and space that if there were some groups that wanted to create a class or a structure, she'd love to hear it. Absolutely.
Just say transgender members too.